Hello everyone, I am Rajesh and today I am going to talk about n+1 query problem in SQL and how to resolve it using in Django ORM. So first of all, let us understand what is n+1 query problem. So basically for fetching some data from the database, instead of using one or two large queries, if we abuse it with a large number of smaller queries, that particular scenario is called n+1 query problem. So what happens is basically, is this really a problem? If that if the data set in the database is really small, it is not that big problem. But if assume that you are rendering a product page in an e-commerce website with a lot of products are to be rendered, there it affects performance by a lot. So let's understand n+1 query problem in detail with an example, the cats and hats problem. Say there are two models, the cat model and the hat model, and each cat wears a hat. So hat is the foreign key in the cat model. So our problem is to print basically the name of the cat and also the color of the hat that the cat is wearing. So basically the solution looks somewhat like this. Basically we'll get all the cats, and then we'll print just cat.name and cat.hats.color. The solution is obvious, but there is one problem with this solution. What happens is, for each and every cat in cats is accessing the hat object once. So a total of n SQL queries would be made for each cat, and one SQL query for getting all the cat objects. So a total of n+1 queries would be made for showing the result. So this is called the n+1 query problem. These are the different SQL queries that got executed, and you can see that there are 22 similar and 22 duplicate queries that were there, and it took like 6.93 milliseconds. So let us see how can we resolve this with another example. Say there are three models: the book model, the author model, and the genre model. And the book has genre as the foreign key and authors as the many-to-many field. So now our problem statement is basically to print the books along with their genres. So the solution would be similar like the previous one. We can directly print book.name and book.genre.name, but then this is similarly the n+1 query solution. So how can we optimize it? Basically, one way of optimizing it is basically get all the genres and get all the books using two queries, and just map it using a dictionary this way. So basically you can get all the genres and you can create a dictionary ID to object, and you from the ID in the books model you can get the genre, and you can set an attribute in the book object. So this requires two queries, but generally at an SQL with an SQL perspective, if you want to do this, we would prefer a join. We'll join the genre table with the books table and we'll print it. So that is what exactly Django select related does for us. It creates a join, and it gets the result in one query. So this was much optimized solution when compared to the previous one. As we can see the benchmarks, the n+1 query solution, the number of queries are 31, and for the Python dictionary it was like 4 queries, and select related it was 3. And the response time, you can see the improvement. There is 76.6% improvement using dictionary and 81.7% improvement using the select related. So what are the limitations of select related? It only works with foreign key relationships and one-to-one relations. And also, as I said, it creates joins, it creates complex queries for fetching the result set. So the limitation with this is it only works on foreign key, and our author is a many-to-many field. So what if we want to print all the authors for each book? So we want to print books along with genres and authors. So in that case, what we can do is ideally we can get all the book objects, and since it's a many-to-many field, from a SQL perspective it would be an n×n join to print all the authors. But then similar to our second solution which we did using the dictionary, what happens is we can get all the books, all the authors and all the genres using 3 queries, and we can create a mapping at Python level rather than at the SQL level. So that is what exactly Django's prefetch related does for us. So it gets all the books, genres, and authors, and it creates mappings at the Pythonic level than SQL level. So if you can see the benchmarks for this, the number of using the n+1 query solution, the number of queries are 59, because we are getting all the genres that will take n queries, and we are getting all the authors that would take n more queries, and then it will be 2n+1 queries here. So there are 59 queries for that, and using prefetch related there is only 4 queries. So you can see there is a 72% of improvement here. So Django's prefetch related and select related are basically a syntactic sugar over joins and all. Django provides us with this, and we can fetch results in much better way, and these two will help us solve the n+1 query problem.